John Miller here, and I'd like to take you to John chapter 6. A rather long chapter, but just chock full of meaningful principles for us. And just want to maybe do a quick synopsis of that chapter and ask you a question. The ingredients of that chapter have to do with things like feeding of the 5,000, where Jesus took the people followed him to the side of the mountain on the Sea of Galilee there, the big hill, and they all gathered together, and he fed the 5,000 miraculously with 5 small loaves and 2 fish, and fed them all with much left over. And the people were so enamored with him, so happy that he had taken care of their physical needs, that they wanted to force him to be king. They wanted to force him to be their king. And that's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it? Because who's the king if I'm forcing you to be the king? And that was happening there because they had their physical needs met. In fact, a number of them had been healed by Jesus. And so they were excited about going wherever Jesus was and being with him so they could get in on these miracles and have these needs met. And Jesus left, and they followed him. So they were following him. There was quite a number, we don't know how many, but they followed him over to Capernaum, and he preached in the synagogue there. If you've ever been in that, where the synagogue was, it's fascinating. But they followed him there, and he said, if I'm the bread of life, and if you're committed to me, you'll eat me. You will eat my bread and drink my flesh, eat my flesh, drink my blood. And if you don't have any part with me. And of course, they had a big problem with that, but he tried to explain to them that what he meant was, you need to take me into you. You need to be so committed to me that you basically ingest me into your soul. This question that I want to ask you has to do with the reason that you are committed to Jesus Christ. And so the question is, are you a fan or a follower? Are you a fan or a follower? Because when Jesus said, hey, here's what commitment means, you have to be serious about your commitment to me, and it'll cost you. John 6 says many of them, most of them, left him. In fact, all of them left him except the disciples, the 12 disciples. And even Jesus said to the disciples, will you leave me also? The question about being a fan or a follower is just, I like Jesus. He gives me eternal life. He gives me this. It's like somebody who's a popular artist that we want to go see. We're a fan. But a follower is the next deeper level. It is one that says, I'm going to give up myself to follow Jesus Christ. I'm not just a fan, a fair weather fan, that when Jesus stops giving me what I want, I stop following him. Because all of those, and they're called disciples, by the way, in John 6. And it says they left him. So the disciple is a follower, but they really were fans more than followers, because they were nowhere to be seen when Jesus called for real commitment. And Jesus is calling all of us who claim to be his followers to take up our cross and follow him, to live a crucified life of putting this flesh to death in terms of its worldly desires and surrendering our heart to Jesus Christ. Those are the true followers. And so that's the question this morning. Are you a fan or a follower? Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend.